Well, these are the conditions and the mark we're going to fish over today. We're right on low tide, and we're going to hope for some sole, Dover sole. Well, I always hope for bass, don't I? But maybe some bass. Anyway, these are the conditions. Fingers crossed. It does look really weedy when you look in that water. There's a lot of weed about. Kind of good conditions for bass, but I think we might struggle with this weed. Let's give it a go, see how we get on. What we're doing is just setting up now with a cascade rig, 2 lugworm on here, and then it tightens onto the lead at the end. We've got a 5-ounce lead on there. We're going to need it today with this wind. It's just clipped on. I'm going to have to blast this right into the wind. So pretty rough conditions. What I've done with this one, this is a continental rod, I've punched it right into the surf, and it's going to drift with this wind and tide back round again. I'm crossing my fingers that this weed isn't horrendous. I think it's going to be quite tough. Problem as we pick the rod up is all that weed on the line. Hell of a bend in the rod, and most of that is the weed. Oh, you can still feel, this looks ridiculous, but you could still feel if there's a knock on a rod here once that lead's out, but there's nothing on here. Not bad for a continental rod, is it? Can sort of shake that weed down a bit. Well, nothing on that one, but we are just about holding bottom, which is the main thing. And this tide's now covered up that sand that we looked at earlier, so fresh lug on. A little bit of a tail on there, untangle the cascade rig. There you go. This is a simple off the ground cast. You can get a fair enough distance, particularly with these continental rods. Well, conditions have really changed. We're in late July here. I'm just taking a quick look back earlier in the month, and it just goes to show how the techniques and methods for fishing change at the drop of the hat, or at least the drop of pressure and wind. You can see here we started to get into a few mackerel as well earlier in the month. What a great fish the mackerel is. That's a good size. Oh, that's quite a good sized mackerel for here. Nice. Well, they fight so well, these mackerel. Ah, it's just a single one on there. Ah, I love mackerel. Right. Well, I do think of this channel as a lure fishing channel, and we've certainly been giving it a go with the lures. I just haven't got into the bass this year. We had
£7 fish from the kayak that I failed to record earlier in the season, a few £3 fish, about 2 or 3 schoolies, and that is it for the bass so far. So a little bit disappointing, but I really am keen to get out there and show you something a bit better. You can see here some of these conditions have been pretty much perfect, and there has been bait fish in the water as well. So there's hope for us yet. I know a few of you are picking up some bass this year. Great. Well, I want some too now. There will be some on the channel, I do promise that. So we'll go back now to our windy beach.
Of course, the problem you got here is it's very hard to tell the bites. I mean, a decent bass, you would know those rods will still lurch over despite those big waves. But a lot of that is where the crest of the wave picks up on the weed that's hanging off the line like a clothesline, really. It's pretty full-on fishing. It's quite hard. Just about holding bottom with a 5-ounce grip lead now. So we're going to stick the squid. We've got a pulley pennel. We're just going to drop that squid a bit close. It's hard fishing 2 rods at distance, so we'll put this one close in. We'll do that. We've got braid straight through here on the pen. Big thick spool. Nice and simple fishing. Well, these eels are endangered species, believe it or not. I've got to go back.
Well, there we go, we got one. Thanks for watching. Not the best of fish the eel, but it was good to save the blank. And do check out these other videos if you do like to see more fish being caught. There's some videos up here you might want to watch from the channel as well. Tight lines everyone, I hope you're enjoying your summer. Let us know how you're getting on with your fishing.